Hi everyone, and welcome to another Afterthought edition. I know I have other videos to do, other reviews to do, but guess what? I just saw Iron Man 3 last night. And I'm here to give you my opinion. Let's talk about the first two first. The first one I absolutely love. It's my favorite. Still is my favorite, even after watching the third one. A lot of people, even some reviewers, would say that number 3 is better than 1, 2. No. I would actually have to say number 1 is still a lot better. Number 2, I actually quite liked. I didn't think it got the reviews that it deserved. A lot of people said it was too slow and too boring. I disagree. It really builds a lot of character in the villain. Not much in the hero, and that's what everybody wants to see in an Iron Man movie. They want to see Tony Stark and Iron Man, and you don't really see much of Tony Stark. Only time you see Tony Stark is as Iron Man. A lot of people don't like that. And number 2, apparently, I loved it. I loved it. I loved seeing the villain and seeing basically Tony Stark as Iron Man. Being as a comic reader, when I read Iron Man comics, I expect to see Iron Man. Number 3, okay, let's get into number 3. I'm just going to talk a little bit about the plot. I won't spoil it. I know it's late for a theater review of Iron Man 3. All of you probably already seen it, but I'm still going to give my opinion. Number 3, it's good. It's interesting. It's a great twist on good comic book stories. Yes, it is. It's about a couple comic book stories. It's about Extremis and the Mandarin War. If you are a comic book reader and know what those are about, sorry, I already spoiled the movie for you then. It's about those two. It's about those two stories, and they put them together. What I saw from the trailers, I did not expect either or. I expected either Mandarin Wars or I expected Iron Wars. If you know what those two stories are, they're epic. They are epic, and I was excited when I see the trailers, see all those different Iron Mans. I'm like, okay, it's gonna be the Iron Wars. No. Then I saw like the fires and people breathing fire and things melting. I'm like, okay, it's about magic, so it's about Mandarin Wars. A little. It's about Mandarin Wars mixed with Extremis, which is very interesting. Okay, let's talk about what the reviewers have to say about it. Positive reviewers absolutely loved it. I would actually have to agree. I love seeing Robert Downey Jr. as Tony Stark and as Iron Man. Seeing him without the armor much, if most of you have read online reviews, and you will know that in this third movie there's not much of him being in the suit. It's just basically him being Tony Stark. At the same time, I would have to say that is only okay to a point for me. I'd rather see Iron Man in an Iron Man film or a comic. But I know a lot of people that watch these movies know from the second one, not a lot of people like this scene, Tony Stark. Sorry, I got dry throat. It's very dry out today. Like seeing Tony Stark more than they like seeing Iron Man, which is strange. It's called Iron Man. No, they only like seeing a little bit Iron Man, mostly Tony Stark. Unlike with the Hulk, they like seeing more of the Hulk and less Bruce Banner. Okay. I'm actually going to talk about the Hulk in a video. Not this one. Another one. Let's go back to Iron Man 3, though. So, the negative reviews on it, the biggest thing was that they were saying this Mandarin is just like Osama bin Laden. And I would have to disagree. Mandarin is not like Osama bin Laden. Mandarin was a terrorist before Osama bin Laden ever came to our knowledge. So that's very disrespectful for our history. It's very slap in the face to 9/11, to the wars and everything. Saying that makes me so angry. Saying that, like, oh, reminds me of Osama bin Laden, the ghost of Osama bin Laden, Osama bin Laden. I'm like, guys, this guy was a horrible person. He did horrible things. I do not want to hear about him. Mandarin was a terrorist in the comics before any of this Middle Eastern stuff happened. And I understand why they do this Middle Eastern twist is because of modern times. You know, during the back of Iron Man days, it was the Vietnam War and everything that was going on with that. And so the villain was actually, Mandarin was actually Asian. It still is. In a lot of comics today, still is Asian. I was going to say something very political, but I'm going to not talk about it. So, yeah, I get really angry about negative reviewers comparing Mandarin to Osama bin Laden. He's not Osama bin Laden. And the twist in it is actually very funny. Okay, so let's talk about the acting. The acting is great from Robert Downey Jr. I love his acting in his movies. He really has rise from the ashes, in my opinions, with Sherlock Holmes, Iron Man movies, being in Avengers. He was one of the best characters in Avengers, and that's saying something. We'll talk about Avengers also in another video. Give my opinion about that. I will not talk about all the individual movies or Avengers, but I will talk about Avengers in another video, just not in this one. The acting from Gwyneth Paltrow was actually, this is her best role I've seen in a long time. Very impactful, very emotional, and I really, really rooted for her and for Tony Stark and Iron Man in this whole film. The villain, the main villain, he's okay. I'm actually going to spoil something very, very quickly. So if you have not seen this movie and do not want to be spoiled, stop it or fast forward a couple minutes. Mandarin is not the main villain. That's the twist. He's not the main villain. It's just this random guy. He has the motivations. He has some character, but no, it's quite disappointing to see Mandarin not the villain. I know what they were going for. Mandarin's all about magic and everything in the comics, so it's always about technology versus magic in the comics. And I understand that they have to bring something realistic, but I would still love to see Mandarin as the villain. Why couldn't they do that? No, why couldn't they bring in magic also? No, we already established that there's aliens. People will go, oh, Avengers is awesome, aliens, magic. That must be silly, stupid. Okay, this is me just really nitpicking. Okay, so they really chose someone else, some random guy. I think I even forgot his name already. Some blonde guy who has this capability from Extremis. If any of you know what Extremis does to a person, it basically makes him super strong, is able to basically break open Tony Stark's armor and everything. What they explain with this, sorry, dry throat. What they explain in this is that also you could overheat and burn down like through steel and overheat to explode into basically a human bomb. And that's very interesting. I would love if they kept that, but kept Mandarin as the villain. That would have been so awesome. No, have it. I'm magical and I'm a terrorist, and it's really this technology virus that no serum of plant life and all that jazz, whatever it was. I could barely understand it. I don't know DNA or genes or anything. I'm a nerd, but I'm no scientist. I'm not a scientist, people. No, but no, they decided not to. They probably thought it was too much like terrorists of this era to really take seriously, or take way too seriously and actually go over border lines that offend people and all that. I don't think it would have offended people if they kept it serious and actually kept it as Mandarin as the villain in this era and everything. People are a lot smarter than some movie makers make them out to be. We could accept a lot because we know movies are not real. We know movies are basically fantasy. Yes, no matter how realistic movies will get, they are still fantasy. They are something that we cannot do ourselves. Now, I can't jump from building to building, people. I can't go in the middle suit and fly off. It was something I cannot do, so I like going out movies and seeing all that. I love seeing the action that I'd rather not put myself through and all that, even though, if you know my past, what I was willing to do. Okay, well, I don't know what else to say. It's very disrespectful for the negative reviewers to keep on relating it as Mandarin to a terrorist of this modern era. I quite enjoyed this movie without all that. I didn't see the villain as a terrorist of this era. I saw him as a terrorist from the comic books. So it did not take any of the enjoyment out of it. Saying that says a lot, though. No, saying that, it really makes you think. No, I could take a lot. I understand what movies are, and does not. It only goes so far until it offends me. It has to go really far to offend me. Okay, who will like this? If you love Iron Man films, you will love this just as much. If you love what Robert Downey Jr. has been doing, you will love this enough. If you are a comic book fan, watch. You'll like this if you're a comic fan. You'll be like me and you'll nitpick. I've been nitpicking through this review way too much. Nitpicking does not mean it's a bad movie. It just means what goes through my head as a comic book reader and a moviegoer. Yeah, so if you have not seen it yet, I'm sorry if I spoiled it for a lot of you. I still haven't spoiled a couple other twists and big parts. It's a very good movie, though. If you've already seen it, then you know where, now you see where I'm coming from, or you know where I'm coming from, and you could, spread the word. Go out to see Iron Man 3. I'm excited for Ant-Man. Yes, I'm excited for Ant-Man. Not next Avengers. Ant-Man. I'm such a nerd. Okay. You guys have a good day. Have a good laugh. Enjoy your day.